As you saw earlier on in our bulletin, we were in conversation with our reporter Mbalendle Khetha, the City of Ekurhuleni Council resuming there. And of course, a motion of no confidence against Raymond Dhlamini, the resignation of Ekurhuleni Council Chief Whip Khetha Shandu were some of the headlines this week. There's also accusations of lack of service delivery. And, you know, you think about this particular council and so much has been happening. And one wonders if, you know, service delivery continues. But Action SA says these resignations strengthen the party's belief that the DA-led coalition government has failed to address service delivery issues. But the mayor also citing something else. So let's speak now to Gauteng Provincial Chair of Action SA, Bongani Baloyi. Thank you so much for your time this evening. It's like our minds are spinning. We move from Johannesburg, we then move to Ekurhuleni. So much is happening in these councils, and one wonders if they are getting to the business of the day, but we'll get to that in just a moment. I mean, looking at what Action SA has said, you're saying that what we are seeing happening in the Ekurhuleni Council must be placed once again on the doorstep of the Democratic Alliance.
Absolutely, and good evening, and thank you for the opportunity. Our view is that what is happening in City of Ekurhuleni with the current DA-led administration, with their partners, what is happening should be placed squarely on their doors. In fact, we have long held the view that service delivery is deteriorating in Ekurhuleni, and that's why we elected to get out of that coalition. And today we learned from the resignation letter of one of the DA's Section 79 chairpersons that this is indeed true, because they are a ward councillor and they put on record that they are part of the reason they are resigning as a councillor and also as a member of the Section 79 committee chairperson is precisely because there's issues of lack of service delivery. So today we are vindicated, but at the same time we are equally concerned that the DA needs to do the right thing. We've long held the view that the mayor is incompetent. The mayor does not have the ability and capability to deal with the sophisticated local government system of a metropole municipality such as Ekurhuleni. This is way above their capabilities and ability. But we also understand from the DA perspective that this mayor is the best that they have in Ekurhuleni.
Peter Henning, though, also says that, you know, he cites the lack of support from all departments in the metro is making it difficult, and I'm quoting, for me to fulfill my mandate as the councillor to the residents. And there are also reports where the mayor is saying instability in council has also played a role here, which signals to her that she's not accepting responsibility. She says that it's the instability.
Typical of a DA mayor who refuses to accept any accountability, but as Action SA, we are going to forcefully extract accountability from her. These departments are under the direct stewardship of members of the mayoral committee that form part of the coalition, from the DA, from the Freedom Front, from the IFP. So if departments are unsupportive of councillors on the ground, it's those political principles that must be held accountable, and ultimately those political principles are appointed by the mayor. So the mayor putting her head deep in the sand is actually quite embarrassing, but equally again painfully demonstrate the correctness of our position as Action SA, that this mayor doesn't have the competence, the wherewithal of leading such a sophisticated municipality. She should be very far away from leading any municipality. This is going to be a complete and utter disaster. And unfortunately, the residents are going to pay the brunt for it, because her inability to lead and manage and provide the necessary stewardship of this institution is going to lead to confusion on the ground. Officials are confused because they don't know what this mayor wants. That's why you have the city manager now playing such an important role, becoming the buffer between confused politicians and the administration, trying to insulate the professional civil servants away from this confusion that's delivered by this mayor and this coalition.
So how then do you plan, as you say, to forcefully extract accountability from her?
There's council mechanisms. So the speaker is intentionally, with his ruling, forcing council to adjourn and causing a mess and avoiding accountability that must be extracted from the executive. And that's why we are in full support as Action SA of removal of this current speaker, who's a delinquent. This is a speaker who presided over a vote of no confidence against him in the programming committee after he signed an agenda which contained a vote of no confidence on him, and then claimed in the programming committee that he did not read an agenda and wanted to withdraw this item. This is the type of person who presides over such a key and powerful institution. So we need to deal with the Speaker. A Speaker who can preside over council and make it easier for us as opposition to extract accountability from the executive, utilizing all mechanisms that are afforded in law. But equally, we are going to our communities, we're starting the IDP and the adjustment budget process. We're going to engage with our communities. And if the DA wants to engage with us, they'll meet us in the community and they must provide direct accountability to communities why things are happening on the ground.
Bongani, there's an article here that's, quoting the Action SA, saying that you and your MMCs must resign. Action SA tells the Ekurhuleni Mayor, Tanya Campbell. Can you confirm that?
We have long resigned from the Ekurhuleni Council coalition.
No, as in calling for the mayor and the MMCs to resign. There is an article that seems to say that you are asking the mayor and her MMCs to resign. Can you confirm that?
Absolutely. I can confirm that we are asking on them to do the right thing. They know they're incapable of leading this institution. Service delivery is deteriorating under their watch. The financial health of the municipality has worsened. There's confusion in the administration. The most honorable thing they can do and save this institution is resign and allow for other people who are competent to be elected.
And how confident are you that anyone who comes in will then be able to deliver the services that the residents need? Because that's the nub of the issue here. I mean, you're looking at what is happening in the city of Johannesburg. Some are not convinced that the mayor that's currently on now is going to be able to fulfill that function. So what happens then if history repeats itself in Ekurhuleni?
I don't think it could be worse than what we currently have with this incompetent mayor, who inherited a financially viable and healthy institution just 14 months ago to get it to a point where it is. So I don't believe it's the correct thing when we've got a problem now to say it can get worse, as opposed to dealing with the problem, confronting it, because residents are telling us, and we've got families in Ekurhuleni, in Thokoza, we can see things are worse off now, and we've got a duty and an obligation to deal with it now and ensure that they get out, and then we deal with the new circumstances, try and provide stability and leadership that is competent.
All right, Bongani, thank you so much for your time this evening. And really, as we're watching what's happening in this particular council, residents were watching, things happen in the city of Johannesburg. Now it's the city of Ekurhuleni. Of course, we are expecting it's going to move to Tshwane, but let's leave it there. Thank you so much, Bongani. That was Gauteng Provincial Chair of Action SA, Bongani Baloyi.